Hey guys, Coach Tom here from Activate. How y'all keeping? Today I'm going to go through the strict press, and push jerk. This is an overhead exercise most commonly done with the barbell, but I'm going to be going through it with you with the dumbbell, okay? It can be done with two dumbbells or a single, okay? If it's done with a single, you can either go one on each arm, alright, or one arm at a time, or going with a single bell while holding up both arms, okay? So there's many ways of tailoring and scaling. So first I'm going to go through the strict press, okay? So the strict press where you use the arms strictly, hence why it's called the strict press, okay? So it's very important to engage the body, okay? When I say the body, I mean legs, hips, and core while you press that weight overhead, okay? So it's really, really important to stay nice and stiff, nice and vertical throughout the body, keeping the tummy tight, bum squeeze to stabilize the lower back, and making sure that you're really getting good force through the push of that weight, okay? So a lot of times you will see people, okay, a big fault is the arching of the back and the rib cage flaring on the press. So before doing any press, okay, the dumbbell will start on the shoulder, okay, elbow in front, one head on the shoulder. Now making sure I'm squeezing my legs, my bum is nice and tight. I'm really pushing that rib cage down, so I'm squeezing the gut like I'm about to be punched in the gut, okay? So I'm squeeze it, keep it squeezed, and then I'm going to press up overhead, okay? Finishing with my bicep beside the ear, so from the side profile, you can see that ear will disappear, okay, keeping that rib cage down on the lockout, and then return to the shoulder, okay, and then repeat that for a number of reps, whatever is prescribed in your program, okay, and then you will swap side for the same. So strict press pretty much means strict arm work, okay, so no assistance really from the legs or hips, all right, that is your strict press. Now when it comes to the push press, this is where we introduce the hips and legs a little bit, okay? So it kind of becomes more dominantly a leg and hip exercise more than an arm one, okay? So the arm's job is really just to sort of guide and stabilize that weight overhead, whether it's a dumbbell or barbell. So now the hips, we do something what's called the dip position. So the dip position is where we slightly sit the bum back and down, okay? About 2 or 3 inches, okay? Keeping the chest nice and tall and proud, facing forward, okay? So imagine that you had your back against the wall. This is a nice trick I like to do is if you place yourself against the wall and you're about maybe a few inches away with your feet, and if you were to slightly slide down the wall, okay, stand up and then again slide down, keeping your weight on the whole foot of both feet, okay, so heel to toe in contact with the ground. That will give you a nice little sensation of how your dip should move, okay. And the reason I'm saying this, and this is a nice drill to use, is because a lot of time you'll see a big fault where people tend to dip by pushing the bum back and leaning over. And what that will do is put all the weight in the front, okay, pulling you forward, and you will lose force, okay, and power through the actual push of the dip, okay. So you've got to stay as vertical as possible, so you got all those legs involved, all those legs to help, and get as much drive through that dip position, okay. So you got to stay as vertical as possible because all the time that weight's going to be in the front, so you've got to resist it pulling you forward, whether it's barbell or dumbbell, okay. So yeah, dip position, all right. So sit back and down, keeping the weight more in the sort of mid-foot area, but keeping the feet clawed and plugged into the ground. From there now, you're going to extend the hips violently, using that power of the hip to throw that dumbbell overhead or create that momentum and drive and lock, okay. Nice and strong with the arms then to stabilize it, nice and straight over the shoulders. So again, that ear is pretty much disappeared on the side profile, okay. So I'll show you in real time, dip, drive, shoulders, dip, drive, shoulders, dip, drive. All right, again, front view, dip, drive, dip, drive. So you're using a lot of hip here to assist with that weight going up overhead. Next one now requires a little bit more skill, is called the push jerk. What this requires you is to dip and drive. Now we're adding in a little bit of a second dip where we drop underneath that weight, okay? So we're able to get the arms locked and quickly stabilize that weight overhead. Because as long as there's a bit of a bend in that arm, okay, that weight will not be securely stable overhead. So I'll show you in real time before going through it. So it'll be dip, drive, dip, catching it nice and strong, stand, extend the hips and knees before resetting, okay? Dip, drive, dip. Nice and fast, and stand. And step again, dip, drive, dip, stand, reset. So that's your push jerk. You're just dropping underneath nice and fast, okay? Because as that weight gets heavier, it's going to be a little bit more challenging for you to get that up overhead. So as that weight's going to travel, you are traveling underneath that. So you're pushing yourself underneath to get those arms locked out, securing that weight overhead. So I'm back in that dip position, and then standing. Okay, so dip, drive, create that momentum, pushing myself underneath, catching in that dip position again, arms locked. Once it's secure, stand tall and return to the shoulders. Okay, and that is your push jerk. So each one is designed to help you lift that a little bit more load over the head. Okay, so with the push press, push jerk, try that little wall trick. It's a nice little drill. Okay, just kind of prime how the body moves, the path of the dip position. Okay, because a lot of time people don't even realize they're going that way. Okay, when you go that way, then you're not getting all the muscles required to help you get that weight overhead. So nice little drill just to practice how your body should position, keeping the weight in the legs, squeezing the legs as you're in that position. Okay, so that's a nice little drill to do before doing any sort of push press or push jerk. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Any questions, please get on to me. I'll catch you on the next one.